Okay, so with Solo 3.0 and the massive changes that they brought with the launch of Season 17, that includes things like the Resilience patch. Now, beforehand, Resilience was kind of just a thing for Titans so they can get their barricade up quicker. This is maxed out at Tier 10. You get 40% damage reduction at all times, which is literally almost pre-nerf Protective Light, which was 50% damage reduction whenever you lost your shield. 40% damage reduction up at all time is very, very useful, to say the least, especially on top of that with some of the new changes that they're bringing to Solo 3.0 this Tuesday. They're going to be buffing things like heat rises. They're also going to be improving the healing grenade, which is very, very strong. And if you can combine 100% or tier 10 resilience with any form of restoration, especially if you can get restoration ×2, that's like the basis foundation of being unkillable. And for the most part, it's very, very easy to set up and do. The hardest part being is really just getting the armor set, because I know a lot of people, including myself, they didn't have like high resilience armor sets on any other characters except for their Titan, because there just really wasn't a true incentive, a real purpose, a real reason to do so. So now with us having an actual reason to have tier 10 resilience on, I figured to go ahead and make a little video on how you can go about getting an armor set easy for that to do so. So obviously the first and most important thing to do is go ahead, go to your ghost shell, and then put on the resilience focuser or resilience armorer. This mod will basically, every time an armor piece drops for you, it'll have a bare minimum of at least 10 resilience, and even more likely to drop with high resilience. That's the first step. Now, before we do anything, if you have any extra risen umbral energy that you don't ever plan on using, come over to the helm, head over to the war table. You'll get your synaptic spear, and then what you actually can go ahead and do is you can actually just go ahead and decrypt these straight into focused armors. You decrypt these umbrals straight up into focused armor pieces with some of your spare risen umbral energy if you have some. Especially with how often umbral ingots are dropping all over the place, I would assume some people have a lot of these floating around. Most annoying thing to get is definitely going to be the umbral energy itself. Keep in mind you need risen for season 16 armor and then opulent for season 17 armor. Keep in mind you would get this at the end of completing a PsyOps mission using your Synergetic Intel on the chest at the end. Will let you some risen umbral energy. I made a whole video on how you can actually go about getting this pretty efficiently, but since we're in season 17, we now have access to season 17 armor. And the passes for this, Visage of the Reaper grants 5% additional vestiges of the Dread from all sources. Each piece of armor you are wearing with this perk on it increases to a maximum of 20%. The thing about this armor pieces though is that they cost 10 opulent energy versus 4 risen umbral energy. Now, especially since opulent energy is new in season 17, it's still relatively new. We don't quite have all of the upgrades at the bottom here to go about getting opulent energy as easy as things like risen umbral energy, because we had our artifact and we just got out of season 16. We had more time in there. Might have some more of those risen umbral energy resources stocked up versus the newer opulent one. Now, granted, at the bottom here, you can get things like umbral energy chests to give you a little bit shot of getting some more when opening up opulent chests over on the Leviathan. And then the other one that I would recommend trying to get to is Umbral Binding. Binding at the end of the Nightmare Containment rewards additional opulent umbral energy. If you do have this upgrade right now and you're able to consistently farm up some opulent energy, I would, go ahead and use these, because this armor is actually pretty freaking sick. Especially the perk is really, really good, especially if you're gonna be spending more time on the Deerlick Leviathan. Having a set of this would be very, very useful. But of course, if you don't have all that opulent energy, you have some risen umbral energy sitting around, I would highly recommend taking a look at the season 16 war table, as this can still net you some pretty solid armor just with the focuser from your ghost shell. As you can see here, I literally got one with 21 resilience just like that. Would prefer to spike and discipline. Actually, speaking of that, I'm just gonna go ahead and get another pair of boots, see if you get a better spike. That's what I'm fucking talking about, dude. It's easy. It's easy, bro. Basically, you could literally just do this for literally chest, gloves, chest piece, and boots. You combine that with restoration ×2, and that's like the core, bro, of how you can just like face tank everything, bro. Like, I mean, you're seeing what I'm talking about. Just with restoration, some good resilience, bro. It's the core of just being able to face tank everything. And honestly, you could argue that this is kind of, actually, bro, I'd say this is better than Devourer. Having constant regen like that, bro, versus just having to get kills to instantly refill your health bar, especially against something like maybe in like a final boss encounter, that could be a little bit more tricky to pull off. I would definitely prefer just having the constant restoration up at all times and having this like, dude, look at this, bro. Like, come on, bro. Anyways, guys, with that being said out the way, thank y'all so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoy, and my name's Kree. See you on the next one. Peace out.